A Thomas promise. One morning, Thomas was showing his friends how high he could stack some wibbly-wobbly tracks. "I'll bet it can go higher," said Diesel. He tried to pull the flatbed from Thomas. "No, you can't, because I'm the number one engine." Thomas chugged onto his tracks. Heave! Pull! Heave! Crash! The little tracks flew all over the rails. Just as Gordon whizzed down into view, poor Gordon jumped and landed with a bump. Oh dear. Gordon's coupling had snapped in two. "How am I going to take my cargo to Whip's recycling plant now?" steamed Gordon. "Well, I can take half, and Diesel can take half," said Thomas. "It's a Thomas promise." Gordon agreed, and the engine set off. "Do you want a race?" Thomas asked Diesel. "Last one to Whip's recycling plant is a rotten rail spike." Now Thomas could show Diesel that he really was the number one engine. Thomas's wheels turned faster, 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 but he skidded onto the wrong side track. "Whoa!" Thomas cried. He leaped over Kana just in time. Bump, bump. Gordon's cargo tumbled onto the tracks. Thomas felt silly for going so fast, but he still wanted to win the race. When the cargo was back on board, Thomas steamed off to catch up to Diesel. "Time for a track attack," said Thomas, but sneaky Diesel had another plan. He quietly flipped some of his heavy cargo into Thomas's trucks. Now Thomas's cargo was heavier than ever. Puff, puff, puff. Poor Thomas couldn't pull his trucks for another second. Snap! The trucks came loose and Thomas skidded down the track, backwards. Up ahead, the tracks were all broken up. With a flip and a flop, Thomas spun in the air and landed with a splat! Thomas was stuck in a very muddy bog. Luckily, Sandy, Carly, and Percy soon arrived to pull Thomas out. "Guess I'm not the number one agent after all," blushed Thomas. "You don't have to win everything to be a great engine," said Sandy. Maybe Sandy was right, and Thomas couldn't give up on his delivery now. He still had to keep his Thomas promise to Gordon. Back on the rails, Diesel was causing all sorts of trouble. He was spilling Gordon's cargo everywhere. Luckily, there was somebody on Surtur who could save the day. Thomas worked hard to pick up every piece of Diesel's lost cargo. Thomas to the rescue! When Diesel finally rode into the yard, Diesel was already there. "I won the race!" Diesel sang out, but with a shock, he got what he saw, that his own trucks were empty and Thomas's were full. "You may have arrived first, but Thomas kept his promise," said Sandy. Thomas realized that winning wouldn't make him the number one engine, but keeping a promise definitely would.